In the heart of bustling Lagos, hidden behind iron gates and blooming hibiscus hedges, stood a majestic mansion, the kind only seen in glossy magazines or elite wedding venues. It belonged to Madame Folake, a woman known across the city for her riches, her ruthless tongue, and her obsession with control. Inside that mansion, sweeping the marble floors before sunrise, was Awa, a 22-year-old village girl whose hands were calloused from years of labor, and whose eyes still carried the softness of someone who believed in kindness. Awa had moved from her small village of Ketau to the city in hopes of helping her widowed mother and younger siblings. She worked silently, often unnoticed, except when something went wrong. Madame Folake never missed a chance to remind Awa of her place. "You are lucky to even breathe in this house," she'd snap, her heels clicking on the tile as she passed. But Awa never responded. She bowed her head, pressed her lips together, and continued scrubbing. Despite the coldness, Awa remained kind. She would secretly save parts of her food ration to feed the stray cat outside. She would iron Madame Folake's clothes with extra care. She believed that hard work and patience were her only tools for survival in this house of cold luxury. But even kindness has limits. And this mansion, full of diamonds and chandeliers, held no warmth for her. This was a place where Awa was invisible. Yet, in her invisibility, a silent strength was building, the kind that would one day shake the very ground Madame Folake walked on. It was a Wednesday afternoon. The air in the mansion was tense, heavier than usual. Awa had just finished sweeping the guest room when she heard a shrill voice echo through the hallway. "Where is it? Where is my gold bracelet?" Madame Folake's voice rang with fury. The entire staff froze. Awa slowly walked toward the sitting room, clutching her hands nervously. She knew nothing about the missing bracelet. She had spent the entire morning doing laundry and mopping the terrace. But that didn't matter. Madame Folake, woman in her 50s, light brown skin, tall, curvy build, sharp cheekbones, almond-shaped eyes, wearing a royal purple silk boubou with golden embroidery, matching gelly, red lipstick, long manicured nails, stormed into the kitchen, glaring at everyone like a hawk. Her eyes landed on Awa, young woman, 22, dark skin, oval face, deep-set brown eyes, natural full lips, short tightly coiled black hair, wearing a faded yellow dress and blue headscarf, barefoot. "You," she hissed, "you're the only one who entered my room today." Awa's lips trembled. "Madam, I didn't." "Silence." Madame Folake roared. "Thief! You poor rats always show your true colors. Get out of my house." She didn't call the police. She didn't investigate. She didn't even search the room again. Instead, she demanded the guards throw Awa out, right then and there, like trash. Awa tried to explain, her voice breaking between sobs, but no one listened. The staff avoided her eyes. No one defended her. She gathered her small bag, shaking. Her only possessions, a Bible, her phone with a cracked screen, and a picture of her late father. As the gates closed behind her, Awa looked back one last time, not with hatred, but with heartbreak. And somewhere, on a dusty shelf in a forgotten bathroom drawer, the missing bracelet lay, untouched. With dust clinging to her worn sandals and tears still burning her cheeks, Awa stepped off the old bus into the red earth of her village, Ketau. The journey from Lagos had been long, and her body ached. But more than her body, her spirit was bruised. Her mother, Mama Geneba, woman in her late 40s, medium dark skin, round face, kind brown eyes, thick lips, wearing a simple green wrapper and beige blouse, with a tied orange headscarf, came rushing from their small mud brick home the moment she saw her daughter. "My child," she cried, wrapping Awa in a warm, trembling embrace. "What happened to you?" Awa couldn't hold back her tears any longer. She fell into her mother's arms, sobbing uncontrollably. They sat under the mango tree by their house as Awa recounted everything, the accusation, the shame, the humiliation. Mama Geneba listened in silence, her eyes watery but strong. After a long pause, she spoke, her voice calm like a lullaby. "You are not what they called you. You are more. They threw you out, but you will rise. We will rise." And so, the next morning, Awa woke up with a new purpose. She helped her mother in the cassava field. She joined the women's cooperative and learned how to process shea butter. She started writing down her ideas in an old notebook. Her pain became fuel. Her rejection became fire. One evening, she told Mama Geneba, "I want to start a small business, something of my own. I want to create natural soaps, made from our own shea butter and herbs." Mama Geneba smiled proudly. Then you shall, my daughter. From the ashes of shame, Awa began to build something pure. And while Madame Folake continued to sip wine in her golden cage, Awa was planting the first seeds of freedom in the rich soil of her village. Months passed in Ketau, and what began as a humble soap-making idea turned into a community movement. With patience, precision, and passion, Awa built a small production space behind her mother's house. She named her brand Son Sira, meaning pure path in her father's native tongue. She used shea butter from local women, moringa from the hills, and honey from village beekeepers. Her soaps were gentle, fragrant, and natural. At first, she sold to neighbors. Then came a merchant from Cotonou, impressed by the quality. Soon, she was receiving orders from the city. With each bar sold, Awa gained confidence. She bought better equipment, hired village girls, and taught them the craft. She created jobs, joy, and pride. Meanwhile, in Lagos, behind high walls and marble floors, things began to unravel for Madame Folake, woman in her 50s, light brown skin, tall, curvy build, sharp cheekbones, almond-shaped eyes, wearing a red designer kaftan with gold embroidery, matching gelly, long red acrylic nails, red lipstick, gold earrings. Her husband's business had collapsed after a major fraud scandal. Investors pulled out. Accounts were frozen. Luxury cars disappeared one by one. The staff quit without notice. Her mansion, once echoing with power, now echoed with emptiness. Still, Madame Folake couldn't let go of pride. She wore her makeup, posted old pictures on social media, and pretended nothing was wrong. But reality hit hard when she received a final notice: her mansion was going up for auction. She had nowhere to go. No real friends, no money, and no plan. Back in the village, Awa was invited to a women's business conference in Abuja. Her story had traveled. Journalists came to interview her. She stood tall on stage, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a symbol of resilience. Her brand, Son Sira, became the face of a national campaign promoting organic African products. While Awa was flying to Abuja for awards, Madame Folake was quietly packing what was left of her belongings into 2 old suitcases. Life, it seemed, had turned. It was a hot Saturday afternoon in the heart of Cotonou. The local market buzzed with sounds, traders calling out, okadas weaving through narrow spaces, and women balancing goods on their heads. Among the crowd, Awa walked confidently between stalls. She was there to meet a supplier who provided essential oils for her new soap line. As she moved through the market, several people greeted her with admiration. Her story had spread far and wide, the young village girl who built an empire from soap. Meanwhile, not far away, Madame Folake shuffled through the crowd, trying to sell small packs of groundnut and chin-chin she had made the night before. She was almost unrecognizable. The grace and power that once defined her presence were now replaced by fatigue and quiet desperation. Every step she took seemed heavier than the last. Then it happened. Their eyes met. Awa stood frozen for a moment. Her heart skipped. The woman in front of her, worn and weary, was the same one who had once humiliated her in front of others, who had kicked her out with nothing but a warning never to return. Madame Folake lowered her gaze in shame. She didn't expect to see Awa, certainly not like this, glowing with dignity and dressed in the same vibrant pride that once made her seem so small. There was silence. Then, with a trembling voice, Madame Folake whispered, "Awa, my child, is that really you?" Awa took a deep breath, stepped closer, and gently touched her former employer's shoulder. "Yes, madam, it's me." There was no pride in her voice, no revenge. Only compassion. Madame Folake burst into tears, right there in the middle of the market. Years of pain, pride, and regret spilled onto the dusty floor. And Awa, despite everything, did what few could: she embraced her. Because true wealth isn't in gold or marble. It's in the heart. Later that evening, the golden sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm hue across the city. In a quiet corner of Cotonou, Awa sat inside a modest but beautiful shop. The wooden shelves were filled with neatly packed soaps, oils, and creams, all products of her own hands and vision. Her business had grown fast, but her heart had grown even faster. As she arranged a few items on the shelf, the door creaked open. In walked Madame Folake, hesitating at the threshold. Awa turned and smiled. "Please come in," she said softly. Madame Folake stepped inside, her eyes roaming the shelves in disbelief. "You did all this?" she asked in a low voice, almost ashamed. Awa nodded.
Yes.
After you sent me away, I returned to the village. I started making soaps with my grandmother's old recipes. At first, no one believed in me. But I believed in God and myself. There was a long silence. Madame Folake sat on a small wooden stool and placed the plastic bag on the floor.
Awa.
I wronged you. I judged you. I treated you like you were less than human. I let my pride blind me. Tears welled up in her almond-shaped eyes. Awa walked over, took her former employer's hand and sat beside her. You were hurting, too. You lost your husband. You were afraid. I understand now. Madame Folake looked up, shocked by the gentleness in Awa's voice. I don't want revenge, Awa continued. I want healing. And I want to help you. Madame Folake broke down again.
Help me?
After everything I did to you? Awa nodded.
Yes.
Come work with me. I need someone to help manage inventory. You know business and I know you're strong. For a long moment, Madame Folake couldn't speak. Her heart was overwhelmed. In all her years of wealth, she had never known such grace. That evening, as the two women sat side by side, the past melted into something new, something better. A new chapter, written not with bitterness, but with forgiveness. Months passed, and life in Cotonou blossomed for Awa, young woman, 22, wearing a vibrant orange Ankara dress with a green headscarf, simple flat sandals. Her shop had expanded to 2 more locations, and her natural product line had been featured in a national magazine. But for her, the real treasure wasn't the money, it was the peace she had found in herself and in the path God had paved for her. Each morning, she opened her shop with joy. And every morning, Madame Folake stood beside her. No longer the proud millionaire, but a humbled woman, thankful for the second chance life had given her. One day, a large order arrived from an international cosmetics company looking to collaborate. Excitement buzzed through the small team. Awa gathered everyone. We started with nothing, she said. But look what belief, honesty, and love can build. I want to remind us all that success is sweetest when it lifts others too. Everyone clapped. In the back, Madame Folake watched with teary eyes. She had gone from boss to beggar to assistant.
And now?
She was part of a family again. Later that day, the two women took a short walk outside, toward a quiet park with trees whispering in the wind. They sat on a bench under a large mango tree. Madame Folake turned to Awa. You changed my life. You gave me more than a job. You gave me back my dignity. Awa smiled. You gave me something too. When you pushed me away, you also pushed me into my purpose. I didn't understand it then, but now I'm grateful. A gentle breeze passed between them, like a blessing. Madame Folake leaned back, looking at the sky. Life is strange. I once believed money gave me power. But real power is kindness. That's what you taught me. The sky began to change, golden rays piercing through the clouds. Awa nodded. Forgiveness is freedom. And when we free others, we free ourselves. They sat in silence, two women once divided by pride and pain, now united by grace and truth. As the sun dipped low, casting long shadows on the grass, Awa stood. Come, she said. Tomorrow is a big day. Madame Folake stood beside her, her posture stronger now, her face lighter.
Yes.
Let's build the future together. Hand in hand, they walked back toward the shop, the sounds of the city soft around them. Their past did not disappear, but it was no longer their prison. It was their foundation. From servant and madam to partners and sisters, their journey had come full circle. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey today. We hope you were inspired by the story of Awa and Madame Folake, a tale of redemption, forgiveness, and the power of kindness. It's a reminder that no matter where we come from or how hard life can get, there's always a chance for change and growth. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, African Storytime, for more beautiful tales filled with wisdom, life lessons, and unforgettable characters. Your support means the world to us, and we're excited to bring you even more heartwarming stories in the future. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay inspired, and keep believing in the power of a good story. Thank you and see you for our next video.